Tuesday groove. It's Toonsday Tuesday. DJ's got the tunes with cactus bringing vibes that light up the room. Retro memories and fresh new spins from classic laughs to anime wins. Toonsday Tuesday, step into the stream. Old school feels and modern dreams with DJ and crackers. It's a timeless ride through cartoon worlds side by side. We're throwing it back to the days gone by. Tunes from the past still lighting the sky. Then to the present with colors that pop. From Spirited Away to rooftop drops. Cartoon vibes filling up the night. From retro grooves to neon light. DJ's got the flow, cactus brings the flair. Every Tuesday, everywhere. Toonsday Tuesday, jump in the stream. Classic hits and new age dreams. DJ and Keckers here for the thrill. Cartoon and anime magic, we got the skill. Tune in weekly, don't miss the fun. Classic or modern for everyone. With DJ and Keckers, we'll hit replay. Toonsday Tuesday, every single day. Tuesday groove. It's Toonsday Tuesday. DJ's got the tunes with cactus bringing vibes that light up the room. Retro memories and fresh new spins from classic laughs to anime wins. Toonsday Tuesday, step into the stream. Old school feels and modern dreams with DJ and crackers. It's a timeless ride through cartoon worlds side by side. We're throwing it back to the days gone by. Tunes from the past still lighting the sky. Then to the present with colors that pop. From Spirited Away to rooftop drops. Cartoon vibes filling up the night. From retro grooves to neon light. DJ's got the flow, cactus brings the flair. Every Tuesday, everywhere. Toonsday Tuesday, jump in the stream.
Hi guys.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to Tuesday, the last episode covering season 2 of Lyoko. For the most part, we do have something next week that's, a part of season 2, but it's hard to describe.
No, I thought that it was part of like something which aired before season 3.
Yeah, before season 3, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's why I was planning on doing it like after we finish this stuff.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, but
I prefer watching things in release order, not chronological order, which is why I wanted to watch this after season 2 instead of when we started.
Yeah, no, that's what I get that I do.
But I always feel that creators have a set order in which they want to give information to the audience.
Which makes sense. And I totally see your reason behind that. So, yeah. So tonight, well, do you want me to give it 21 or do you want me to?
Well, I can begin with 21.
Okay.
21 is tip-top shape, which is basically I don't want to use the term filler because I never like using the term filler. But this was of the group of episodes we watched is the closest to being filler.
Yeah.
Though it does carry a sort of a through line, which happens through most of the episodes here. It is school physicals, checking up on vaccinations and all other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have Odd, who is worried about being seen as scrawny. You have Sissy's worried about her weight. You have another kid who's worried about his eyesight, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
There's one thing which is brought up in this episode, which I feel is something which they already tackled. The worry about Aileda's medical records, her vaccination stuff. Didn't they talk about multiple times, even last season, about getting all that stuff taken care of before they brought her into the real world?
I don't think they specifically mentioned medical.
But
Just
they did talk about paperwork for like school transfers and that type of
yeah,
stuff.
just like documentation on where she come from.
Yeah, I would
And
assume medical records would be one of the first things you would do. Like a birth certificate and that type of stuff.
yeah, well, I do that, I do. But, this kind of ties into a real episode
Mhm.
because, well, what I'm getting at, but
Yeah. Okay, so during the physicals, the school nurse gets taken over. Once again, it is one of those Xana takes over a person and tries to kidnap Aelita.
yeah.
The usual rinse and repeat thing that we've had for most of this season.
Mm-hmm.
Sissy actually sees this happen and, calls the principal and everybody. So they go after her. This is mostly a low stakes one, though it does lead to something that I had been wondering about for quite a while.
Nice.
And that is how they are going to be fighting Xana in the real world, since most of the attacks are physical as opposed to weird things like the school sinking into the ground where they have to punch something.
Yeah.
Multiple times this season, they've just had to have a thing where they need to punch.
Yeah. I
So
got you.
Jeremy discovers a way to digitize them in the real world to give them abilities to fight Xana. I will say this also seemed a little bit like a cost-saving measure because they use the traditional cell animation for that.
Yeah.
Just speed it up a little bit, speed the frame rate up, real world, because there are more fighting happening in the real world in that episode than was happening in Lyoko.
Yeah, no, and I mean, would, cost per episode, they have to cut it somewhere. I mean, especially at this point in the season.
I mean, it's a good thing. It is something I've been wondering about them doing for quite a while, since they know that humans become semi-digital. Why
Yeah,
weren't they doing something like that?
yeah, no, I got it. It works out to their advantage.
So yeah, that happens. They end up saving the school nurse after a nice fight. Though we do get the downside in that if someone is drawing power from one of the towers to digitize, then if the
Yeah,
tower is damaged, then they are also damaged. So that
yeah,
is the risk to that.
definitely is.
But yeah, they do that. They end up saving the day, get Aida back. Though Sissy does get a little bit more suspicious because she's the only person who saw what happened with the nurse, and there was no return to the past. So she has full knowledge of the nurse
Yeah,
jumping out of the window with one of the students.
yeah, but I mean, she's told dad and Jim, who clearly don't believe her. So it's more like Sissy is a chicken with her head cut off. Like, oh, this happened, but no one believes me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just there are people who just need to be told. There's too many close calls. Just tell. There are people you can trust. Just tell them.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So that's pretty much the episode.
Alright. I will go straight into 22 if anyone out there with absolutely about a dynamic Leon Cobra who died during the construction of Kazakh Academy, Sissy decides to hold a seance to communicate with him. She manages to convince Oleg to attend during the seance. One of Xana's ghosts appears in the form of a former monk, so at first it seems delicious, but quickly gets angry, so docile, but quickly get angry and attacks. Only to see with what he goes to tell Jeremy. Jeremy cannot find a activated tower which is long consider the situation. As Jim patrols the hallways, he is picked up by an invisible object. Jeremy and Ulrich arrive to spray it with a fire extinguisher, confirming that it's a ghost and implying that the simple skin is broken. With the ghost on loose, the group has to the factory. As they left, Aaliyah and Yumi had Lyoko on loose from the tower, while the others had to simplify to fix the simple skin. Well, meanwhile, Jimmy and Alec are left to deal with the ghost. Now, this is a.
Now, I have to say, I misunderstood because I thought that this thing was sort of like something coming from Lyoko.
So is one of Xana's ghosts, but this ghost didn't possess anyone.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's the way you were saying. I misunderstood.
Yeah, no.
I thought you were saying that it was a real ghost and it wasn't from Lyoko, like a
Yeah, yeah, no.
Okay.
It's a ghost that did not take hold of anybody and just attacked as a ghost.
Okay. Yeah, it was the fact that you kept calling it an actual ghost that was confusing me.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think, wait, did I misread the episode?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just that we don't have a projection this episode. It's not like last episode where took control of the North, and we had a actual person being controlled. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, this was a unique episode in itself because we don't often have a situation like this where there is just a ghost and they'll fight it. Normally, what we're used to is a ghost possesses a person or object to cause the harm.
Right.
So, so it's a change of pace that they did for this one episode. So it was good.
It was an okay episode. Nothing major, it was sort of just, it was there. It was very much we're not having anything important happen in these couple of episodes because we are nearing endgame.
Yeah, no, I mean, the next 4 episodes have a lot more meat to them than the first two, so
Yes. And that really does start with episode 23, Franz Hopper,
yeah.
which, okay, I will say like the start of this episode was kind of crazy where they arrived at the where they arrived at the base to just find a guy just sitting there in the chair, and they're just wondering like, who was this person? Why is he here? How did he get here? And it's someone claiming to be Franz Hopper who tells them everything that they want to hear, everything they think they need to hear. He knows everything about Lyoko. He can use computer better than Jeremy. He ends up souping up their weapons, and he scares them into thinking that the virtualization devices could be causing cellular degeneration and an illness to Yumi. All right, I have to say this. The constant amount of shade Jana is always throwing at Jeremy.
Yeah.
Every single time Xana is in a body that can speak, the most important words out of Xana's mouth are about how much he can insult Jeremy. Jeremy's a coward. Jeremy can't code.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is one where, I mean, Xena just fully alienates Jeremy from everyone else. Like, it's your fault this is happening.
They really need to just realize whenever there's someone we don't know and they're insulting Jeremy, it's probably Xana.
Yeah.
Or if it's someone that we do know and they're insulting Jeremy when they normally wouldn't, it's probably Xana. Because you think about it, unless it's Sissy, whenever there's like someone calling him out, it's usually Xana or someone possessed.
Yeah.
Okay, so what trips him off that it is Xana is that he has knowledge of how the diary was destroyed. Something only he and Xana truly knew about.
Yeah, right.
I do find it hilarious that he manages to trick them into going Lyoko and altering their weapons, and they don't suspect a thing. It's like, oh, cool, new weapons.
Yeah,
Great.
new upgrades. Yeah, let's use them.
Then he absolutely turns off in the middle of a fight and separates Aelita so that he can take her memories. But luckily, Jeremy comes in. He figures out that it was a ruse. They send a fake Aelita into Lyoko. Well, I'm surprised that they couldn't tell the difference. I mean, Franz is at the computer. How does he not realize that no one was virtualized?
Well, that's because they made it look like I was disfocused.
Right. We sent a program in. But aren't there cameras there? I thought there were cameras in the room. I'm not certain.
I'm not 100% sure they're all.
Yeah, if he was just looking at the program being loaded, then I guess we could let that slide. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I found it weird that Xana just leaves during this one. It's like, oh no, I failed. Let me leave. As opposed to really fighting.
Yeah, no.
Or destroying the pods like Xana usually does.
Yeah.
Hey, they're in there.
Yeah, no.
They're trapped in there. This was both a smart plan, poorly executed.
Definitely.
It does allow them at the end of the episode, because I believe they do. No, they don't get access to the new data until next episode. I was about to say getting access to more of Franz Hopper's diary stuff, but no, that's not till the next episode.
Yeah, no.
Any questions?
No. Not really. I mean,
Your thoughts about Xana's plan, like the constant shade he throws at Jeremy.
I mean, okay. The whole.
Because he goes after nobody the way he goes after Jeremy.
Yeah, no, the whole insult to Jeremy should have been a dead giveaway.
He made an entire universe about insulting Jeremy.
Yeah, no, that should have been a dead giveaway.
He is Jeremy's number one hater.
Yeah, but it's a good episode. I mean, we pretty much see like what it would be like if someone else who is smaller than Jeremy operated the supercomputer.
Right.
And that in itself is a new concept because we don't often see Zeta play the long game with these kids.
Right.
It normally is a quick attack. They go to Lyoko and they beat his butt. So, yeah, now it's good to see him grow out, now. So, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. No, it was Good episode. Good, fun episode.
Okay. Now, our next episode is Contact. During a short film made by a fellow Sissy, Sissy is possessed by a ghost. She does not act as expected, however, instead of showing she starts speaking in a unknown language, focusing on Jeremy as she does. She is taken to the infirmary as a result. Later on, she walks into Jerry's room and writes some code on a piece of paper. Jeremy translates the code, revealing a message stating a desire to help. Sissy is sent to the hospital after the forces on a human to go there and collect her on a trip to Lyoko. Alita and Oleg discover a white towel. Xena is not happy about the towel and says make a tank to set it down forcibly. At the same time, it evades a towel and possesses Enos at the hospital to do the same to Sissy. All in unit are able to prevent the nose from doing so. They bring Sissy to the factory to finish the message she saw it all. She managed to type out most of it before Xena succeeded in the white towel. After Xena's towel is set down, Jeremy translates the message revealing that Frank's Harper has activated the white towel. Okay, so we have back-to-back episodes focused on Frank Harper. But, you know, the ghost hill that possesses Sissy, I'm willing to say that it's not a Xena ghost, it's a Frank Harper ghost.
Right, but okay. So I do have something I want to say about that.
Yeah.
So we know how Xana is possessing people, because Xana is just a program able to like send itself through things. Franz Hopper, we believe at this point, I don't know what you know, but at this point it's believed that he is like in Lyoko, just like Aelita was. But if he's not in Lyoko and instead is existing as a program throughout the area, then he's sending part of his consciousness into her.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, that is true. I mean, I will say this, like, as of right now, talk about these last few episodes, Frank Hopper, minus what we saw in the last episode, does not have a physical form that I'm aware of at this point in time.
But that also makes me wonder if Franz Hopper can send in ghosts like Xana did. Why doesn't it just make a body like Xana does sometimes?
But you do gotta remember that still a ghost making that body. So,
Right, but if it could like just take on a humanoid form and talk. But I don't
yeah,
know why just yet it's not able to.
no, I get you. But yeah, it's definitely
I will say
weird.
this was a good high tension episode.
Is.
Because we had 2 towers active, 2 possessed people active, one you're trying to protect, one you're trying to fight off.
Yeah.
So that was a unique way of doing the episode.
Yeah, it is. And, you know,
It was essentially having 2 Ailetas to deal with.
yeah, basically.
One in the real world and one in Lyoko, where you had to protect both from Xana.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, yeah, it's actually the first episode where Aelita was not the damsel in distress.
Yeah, no, not at all. You want to go for 205?
Sure. Okay, because one thing was certain is that at the end of the episode, they did decrypt the information from Tissi's from the
diary.
yes.
All that. So yes, they did encrypt that information.
So now they go in to try and activate towers and try and like actually get the information from the journals.
Yep.
This episode I really did like because it was more of Aelita was trying to help guide what was being done, taking more charge, not as because like at the start of a lot of this, it was just first episode. She was just the princess in the tower, literally the princess in the tower.
Yeah.
This season, it was more her coming into her own. This episode, I felt, was a culmination of a lot of that, where it's her making her own decisions.
Yeah. It is.
So we have all the decoding, you have a lot of the combat that's going on, but this episode is pretty much driven by Aelita and her attempts to like get all of this stuff taken care of. This I will say also had some of the best fights of the season. Particularly in Lyoko with the doppelganger versions of Lyoko warriors fighting, like where Odd had to Ulrich had to face Odd and then himself.
Yeah.
Those were some good fights.
Yeah.
I'm not usually in Code Lyoko for the fights, but this episode had some good fights.
Yep. No, it was definitely a good episode and one that again build on the high tension of last episode. So yeah, I do.
The revelation at the end of this episode about Eilita being a human, about being Franz Hopper's daughter. Obviously, that's something that you, as an adult, can figure out pretty easily once you start seeing her flashbacks.
Yeah, yeah.
For a kid watching it for the first time, I could see being a little bit surprised, but like, no, that's what they're going for. From episode 1 of season 2, if you haven't figured that out, then hello, welcome to television.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Did you figure that out when we begin season 2, or were you piecing it together over time?
The second we heard about Franz Hopper, the second we saw the flashbacks to the house and the Men in
Yeah,
Black, I knew, okay, that's what happened.
yeah, like something going on here that.
She's from here. This was her home.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Why is she being drawn back to this place consistently? It's because it's her childhood home.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so yeah, good fights in the episode. The big reveal of the season. No real worry about other stuff. This was not a Xana attack in the traditional sense. This is just getting things set up for the season finale. The only the only worry stuff was Odd being trapped to almost drown, having to be saved by Yumi.
Yeah.
That was the only real world tension.
No, I got you. I agree. Okay.
So why don't you take us home with the season finale?
Okay, the season finale. The key. Guys, I will just say this first. Is a real intense episode, which you don't think it would be, but it is. Okay. After we first Humble's diary, Jerry discovers the truth behind the supercomputer. I listened someone said Harper has used it quite extensively to the point of repeating a single day for more than 7 years. He is sending degraded throughout the experience. Harper also revealed that Arita thought that him and Arita hold the keys to Lyoko. Well, with what Xena is asking, so he can escape the supercomputer. Jeremy also discovers that Arita never had a virus. and Zena had taken a fragment of her which is responsible for linking her to the supercomputer. Everyone is not willing to go angry over the fact that Harper has essentially taken her life from her. She also worried that Zena might escape, so she goes to the factory alone and shuts down the supercomputer. Jimmy rescues her, and the group goes to Lyoko to retrieve her family. After all their effort, they seem to succeed, but it turns out to be a fake. Zena manages to defocalize Alita's defenders and steal her memory, effectively killing her and allowing him to escape, which shuts down Lyoko in the process. After his escape, Franz Harper revives Alita and Lyoko, restoring all of Alita's memories in the process, but at the price of Franz Harper remaining permanently trapped in the supercomputer. Though the resolution, Alita finally remembers her path up to the point that she went to Lyoko with Zena now free and Alita's memories return. Neither are linked to the supercomputer. This means that they could shut it down, but it would do no good. Unsure of how they proceed, Jeremy promises that they will find a way to stop Zeno.
I will say I was surprised about how this one turned out. I thought we might actually see Franz Hopper. Xana getting free was not something that I saw happening.
Now, let me ask you this. When you initially watched this, did you get the feeling of this could have sold as a series finale and it could have all ended here?
I mean, not really. Why? Was this like a possible planned finale?
Not that I know of, but for me, with the energy it gave off, it felt like it could have been, especially if they ended right at when Aaliyah died.
Oh, that would have been a pretty, like, not even bittersweet. That would just been like a bad ending. They go through 2 seasons of this. Xana wins, Aaliyah dies, and nothing. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be. No, that's not that's not how you end a show. That's not how you end a kid show.
I know, but the adult in me is like, oh, they could have ended on a dark cliffhanger and just flat out killed off Aaliyah. But no, they didn't, and I get why they didn't. I do, but it gives you that thought of could they have done that if they wanted to? The
But no, I get you on that. Okay. The fact that they lose, I did like. I did like they just got overmatched and they just lost. And they had it was a bit of a Deus Ex Machina. Front Topper just coming at the end saying, "Hey guys, you failed, but you tried your best, so here's a mulligan."
yeah.
That part was kind of eh. I do like the setup. I'm wondering, okay, if Xana's just out there, if the supercomputer has no real connection to Xana anymore, then how would they be fighting Xana?
I can't answer that because
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm expecting quite a few changes for next season. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, next season, I believe I told her before would be a shorter season than what we are used to because of the special they put out. But yeah, no.
Yeah, it's only what? Yeah, only 13 episodes.
Yeah, so that's gonna be what it is, and that will be a 3 week kind of thing, and then we will be done with season 3.
Is season 4 not the new show, right?
No, season 4 is the final season for
The new
what
show is a continuation of this, right?
the new show. Okay, here's the thing with the new show. It's a live action retelling of season 1.
Oh, okay.
So, new, no, it's, I mean, let me pull it up real quick and look at it a bit more because I thought it was a retelling of season 1, but I may be wrong. But I do know that they just made it into live action as well, and Okay.
All right. While you're looking,
Okay. Okay, so let me tell you this. The new show is not in English at all.
there's no dubbing for it.
No double, only subtitle.
Oh, well, I'm okay with that.
Okay,
I
yeah,
watch enough subtitle stuff.
I don't care. If we want to do that, we can. Just, it's gonna take me a bit to get used to. So,
Wait, let me see something. Is Code Lyoko being rebooted?
okay, it's set 1 year after the effects of the anime series.
Yeah, you're looking at Code Lyoko Evolution, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so that is a sequel series. It takes place after the original.
okay. Okay, so,
Wait. Okay, no, there's just rumors of a reboot.
okay, yeah. I mean, if we want to do this sequel series, we can. It's just,
You're not familiar with it?
yeah, no, I'm not familiar with it.
Well, that just makes it more fun. You get to go
Yeah,
on blind.
yeah, so, we could definitely do it if we want to. So,
Right. Or we could actually take timing into another show
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then come back to this.
yeah, no, definitely. Let's take the time to look at something else after we finish this series because,
We
yeah,
have been on it for a while.
yeah, no, I mean, depending on how fast we get through seasons 3 and 4, we will be finishing this like late August, maybe early September. So, well, no. Well, okay, no, like maybe mid-July if I'm doing that calculation correct, but I might not be.
Okay.
But anyways, it was definitely a good season finale. So, I think we could both agree that we enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, loved it. So next week we're just doing the 2 specials, right?
Yes, it's
And then we go to Pelswick.
yes, yes. Post was I can't wait for you to watch episode 8 again.
Hey, I liked it when I saw it.
No, I know I'm just making fun of you. But yeah, no, it's gonna be good. I could definitely say that. With that being said, do you have anything that I need to know about for Friday?
This is Easter weekend, so I'm supposed to be doing some stuff. I think that I will be Good Friday. I shouldn't have to leave till Saturday.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a supper, but in the meantime, if things change, let me know.
I will. Easter did sort of sneak up on me.
Yeah, I got you. I gotta say for watching, we will see you possibly on Friday, but if not, we will definitely see you next Tuesday.